It's now or never.
I am such a geek. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Hello, Bookworm family. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Danny. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Oh, I can't talk today. Hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell because I'm posting every day for the month of December for Vlogmas. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, please be sure to do that. It is at _dancing_bookworm. I post on there full book reviews and bookish content. So I feel like these videos have been a little lazy lately, but I'm just so comfy in my jammies and I don't want to get up and move and like film sitting up. Like, it's just a lot of work. So anyways, today's video is we are going to be looking back at my books with a deadline video. So if you guys don't know, I did a thing called Books with a Deadline in June where I had 6 months to read the books on the list, and if I did not read them by December, they would be unhauled, so by the end of December. But we're gonna look at it now to see if there's any that I need to like read right away before unhauling it. So we are gonna peek at that video. I'm gonna do kind of like a screenshotty thing and talk about it at the same time. I don't really know how I'm going to be doing this. I kind of saw how Becca and the Books did it because it was her original idea, and I'm just borrowing the idea, so thank you, Becca and the Books, for coming up with it. But yeah, I don't really know how I'm going to like work this filming, but let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward through all this stuff because it's basically just explaining what's happening, and if you don't know what's happening, basically, if I have not read these books by now, they're getting unhauled. So if you guys want to know the full details of it, you can go to this old video, but basically they're getting unhauled if I haven't read them.
So the first book on that list is The House of Drier Drears by Virginia Hamilton. This book says, the house held secrets Thomas knew even before he first saw it looming gray and massive on the ledge of the rock. Basically, there's an abolitionist ghost who is haunting the house.
Okay, so first book up is The House of Dies Drear. I said Dryer Drear, and I think I've always called this Dryer Drear, and I was watching the video back and I'm like, that says dies. So yeah, obviously I have not read this because I would have known the guy's name, but yeah, this one's getting unhauled.
Is Paper Towns by John Green. If I am correct, this is about a girl who wants to leave her hometown. This main character, Q, he gets close to her. She ends up leaving because she said she was going to leave, and she leaves him clues to go find her, kind of thing.
If you guys have seen my previous unhaul video, you will know that I already unhauled this book. I don't know if I remembered that it was on this or not, but I really did not plan on reading it at all.
Next one I've had for, I want to say, almost 3 years now. This is The Memory Keeper's Daughter. This is by Kim Edwards. This is about a guy who I believe his daughter is born with Down syndrome. Yes. So his daughter's born with Down syndrome, and he's trying to make things better, worse, I don't know. He's trying to make things better for them. And he ends up telling the nurse to take the baby away to an institution. I don't know the time period of this book. Oh, 1964. It says right here. 1964.
I unhauled that one already too. Mainly because I bought it when my nephew was born-ish, around that time. And I thought of it more like a, oh, like it's a book about Down syndrome and stuff like that. But then I discovered that it wasn't about Down syndrome. And it was actually about a horrible person who was like, oh, my kid was born with Down syndrome, I don't want it. So yeah, I got rid of that one. Unhauled.
The Card Turner by Louis Sachar. It has been on my shelf for, I want to say, how long ago did I work at a preschool? 5 years. It has been on my shelf for 5 years.
It was 7 years.
I think it's about, I don't even remember what it's about anymore, but I think it's about a boy who, he's living with his uncle who's old and sick, and he finds out that he's really good at, like, counting cards or something. This is probably a horrible description of this, but I think he finds out that he's good at counting cards, and he ends up getting into illegal gaming. I don't know. It says Alton soon finds himself intrigued by his uncle, the game of bridge, and especially the pretty and shy Tony Castaneda as the summer goes on. So maybe this has nothing to do with counting cards. Why did I think this had something to do with counting cards? I don't know. It sounds like some kid who gets really good at playing bridge. Why did I think this was about counting cards? I don't. That was a horrible description of that book. I'm surprised I didn't edit that better because that was horrible. But the card turner is on my TBR for this month. So it is up, I'm so bad at pointing on camera, right there. So if I read it this month, I don't have to unhaul it. So the next one I have is 12 Again by Sue Corbett. This, I don't even know what this is about. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have never read the summary on this. So the story behind this book is that when I was at the bookstore up north that I was talking about, I was cashing out and the lady goes, "Oh, you like middle grade novels?" I'm like, "I do. I love reading middle grade novels." She's like, "Do you have somebody who's in middle school at home?" I go, "No, I just really enjoy reading middle grade novels myself." And she goes, "Oh, have you ever read 12 Again?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "You gotta read it." So that's why I have this book. She gave it to me for free. She really wanted me to read it. Let's see what it's about. Because only 12-year-old Patrick McBride can solve the mystery brewing in Long Island neighborhood. His mother has vanished. He has repeatedly tried to email her. He knows she took her laptop computer with her, but she's not responding. Unless he can get her back, he faces a life of waiting on his brothers. But this mystery has a puzzling ingredient: a rabbit, a black rabbit, a hidden key, an amber-colored elixir, and a new girl at Halloween. And a new girl at school and a full moon on Halloween. Can Patrick do the impossible? So, till December. We have till December. So the next one I have is The Wife Between Us. This is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. Sorry, I butchered those names. So this is about, basically, I think it's like a jealous ex-wife. She's obsessed with her replacement. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. So this is a thriller basically about a love triangle, but it also says don't assume that it's about a love triangle. So now I'm stuck because that's what I thought it was about. So,
Both of those books already got the unhaul, so.
So the next one is The Night Olivia Fell. This is by Christina McDonald. Honestly, the reason I have put off reading this book is the cover looks boring. That is horrible. Don't judge a book by its cover. I know. Standard book rule for reader number 1. It just doesn't sound, I don't know, it does, because it sounds good. It just doesn't look fun. Does that sound stupid? But anyways, this is a thriller. This is a thriller mystery, I guess, about a girl named Olivia who falls and is brain dead, and they also find out that she's pregnant. They assume that she fell on accident or took her own life is what I think it was. She either fell on accident or took her own life, but her mother is dead set on the fact that something happened to her. She will stop at nothing to figure it out.
So I did end up reading this book. It came up on Bookerty for Mom Pick, so that's the one that she picked out for me. I did only give it 3 stars, and I unhauled it. I didn't really care for it. So yeah, it ended up getting unhauled, but I did read it, and it was okay, but it just was more, like, you kind of knew what happened if you were paying attention from, like, the first chapter, and even if you weren't paying attention, it kind of, like, wasn't really a big mystery, more like a mom grieving, and it was just more emotional than like on the edge of my seat kind of thing.
So another one that friend gave me is Picture Perfect. This is by Fern Michaels. This is another thriller. So this is basically about an aunt who takes her nephew on a camping trip. Her nephew has been very, like, protected his whole life by his family, and basically his parents are hesitant about him going with the aunt on the camping trip, but she takes him anyway, and it turns out to be he goes missing. I'm sure you're shocked about that.
So I did end up unhauling this one because I didn't really want to read it, because I don't want to read a book where an aunt is in charge and then a child goes missing, because that's like my worst nightmare. So, because if you guys don't know, I am like the biggest aunt in the whole world. I'm like everyone's aunt. I love being Aunt Danny, but like my 3 nieces and nephew are my life, and I can't risk reading that and terrifying myself.
Next we have Orphan Train. This is by Christina Baker Klein. So this is about a little girl who gets sent on the orphan train during a time of war, and she is sent to live with somebody that she has never met before. It's basically like, I don't know, if you guys ever read Chronicles of Narnia, like the beginning of the book, they're on an orphan train, and that's when they get sent elsewhere.
So this one I still ended up having on my shelf. It's so short. I hate unhauling short books that I kind of want to read. And I do want to read it, I just don't think I'm going to get to it this month. So unfortunately, it's going to be unhauled. I might in the future listen to this on audiobook.
Have is 13 Gifts. This is by Wendy Mass. This is a YA, I believe. It's either YA or middle grade. But it says, doesn't take too long for Tara Brennan to realize that breaking into school to steal a goat while wielding a can of pepper spray is not a good idea. So that's a really good start to a summary. My friend actually, I think we were at the bookstore, but I do know this comes in a series, so I want to make sure that this is the first in the series, which I don't think it is. So maybe, I don't know if this is part of a series or if it's just read a series. So guys, they get donated, so they are on their little December deadline.
So I also unhauled that book already. So the only ones that I'm kind of losing out on are Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein and The House of Dyes Dreer, not Dryers, dear, or Dryers, whatever I was calling it, and possibly Card Turner if I don't get to it this month. So those are really my big losses. Everything else, I mean, I did lose them, but I unhauled them by choice because I didn't really want to read them anyway. So stay tuned within the next couple weeks. I don't know which week exactly, but I'm going to do another one of these where I'll have from January to June to read them. So that's exciting. It was interesting to watch one of my old videos. I also had different hair, so that was kind of weird to watch too. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Wasn't that a great video? Clearly books make me very happy. Now you can make me happy too. Click the subscribe button to follow my channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you think I did good. And the notification bell will let you know when I post new content. Also, follow my Instagram for more book shenanigans.